Hi guys, Samantha from JCM Tutorials here, and today I'm going to try making a faux ceramic pendant. Now you'll have already seen it in the photos, so you'll know what we are working towards. So you're going to want one large circle of clay, two medium circles, and two small circles. So you can see they're kind of graduated, and you want them all to be white. Okay. So I'm going to start with the large one. And all you're going to do is you're just going to squish that flat. And I'm not too worried about fingerprints right this second. But you want this to be relatively thin. You want it to be probably about 3 to 4 millimeters thick. And you want to try to flatten that out in a circular motion so that it basically forms a disc. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle, but you do want it to form a disc shape. Then I'm just going over and I'm smoothing it like so, and this is just going to get rid of fingerprints. If you want to get rid of some of that excess dirt, what you can do is you can spray a little bit of 99% isopropyl alcohol onto a rag of some sort. I've just got a wet wipe here, and then I'll just give the surface a light scrub, and that will remove a decent amount of the dirt. And I'm just going to do that on the surface that we are going to be crackling. The rest I will sand later on. Okay, so that will have removed most of the fingerprints. I'm just going to run my finger alongside here to get rid of most of that. Then we are going to heat gun it. Now the surface of the clay is shiny. At the angle that the camera is right now you can't really see it, but if you tilt your head to the side you'll be able to see that it has a glossy surface. When you use the heat gun, preheat it and run it over the clay until you see it turn a matte colour. You'll be able to see that quite easily at the right angle. So I'm going to do that. Let it preheat, then run it over the surface. There we go, and that's all it takes. Then just run your finger over the surface and you should be able to slide it over with no resistance. And that's also another indicator that it has cured. Now there's a little bit here that hasn't cured, so I'm going to heat gun that very quickly. And there we go, that's better. And I'm going to pick that up carefully. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring over a oh gosh, what do you call this thing? A hollow bead maker. And now I've cleaned this thing thoroughly. This is years worth of abuse, essentially. Yeah, but anyway, I'm actually going to use the largest one here. So I'm just going to pop that in like so. Then I'm going to bring over a really large ball tool. Essentially what we're going to do is we're going to use that to crackle that clay while also pressing it into the hollow bead maker. And now you can use small bowls or dishes if you happen to have any that are the right size for this. It doesn't have to be a hollow bead maker, it's just nice because it's got the graduated sizes. Okay, and I'm just going to run that over the surface, trying to keep it nice and smooth. Make sure that I've got as much crackles as I can. Okay, and then you're basically going to bake it like that. So I'm going to do the exact same process with the other 4 balls of clay that we have. Bake it for a full hour at Primo's recommended temperature, and when it's done we can apply the colour. Okay, and here they are out of the oven. So I have allowed them some time to cool. And I'm just going to pop them out like so. Okay, and now I'm not too concerned if the backs have any stuff on them because we are going to end up covering the backs. You can give it a sand if you want, or obviously if your tool is clean that wouldn't happen. But basically what we're going to do is we are going to assemble them like this. And so I want you to take some white clay, and I'm just rolling that off to the side here. just going to take a little bit like so. And what I'm going to do is, this can be a little fiddly, but you just want to form it into a little bit, just a cylinder like that. And then I'm just going to press it like so. And I'm going to repeat for all of them, just in that seam area. Okay, then the next step is going to be to go in and just use a ball tool to smooth those edges, like so. And you can see that I've done that with the other ones. And just give it a nice smooth. This is both to just get it to adhere to the clay properly, and it's also just to give it a cleaner finish so that when we go over with the liquid clay it looks cleaner. Okay, then the next step is not completely necessary, but I find that it makes the process just a lot easier, and that is to either put this in the oven for about 15 minutes just to get this to harden, or better yet to use the heat gun to set it. Okay, so I'm going to use the heat gun. I'll just preheat, and I'm just going to go over and cure these pieces. Okay, there we go. Then I'm going to be using some white liquid clay, and I'm going to be just putting that over the entire surface. And this is why I said not to worry about sanding it, because ultimately you should be able to not see these imperfections after you've applied the liquid clay. So I'm just going to apply a bit like so, just to give us a starting point. Okay, and I might actually add a bit more here. Okay. Then I will just use a brush, and I'll actually just hold it, the ball tool here. And I'm just going to brush that over the surface like so. Okay, and remember to brush it over the connections as well. And just brush it over the whole surface until you've got a nice, clean, even coat. And then I want you to bake that for half an hour at Primo's recommended temperature. Okay, and then after I baked it, I applied a layer of white paint to the back just to make sure that it's completely white, and I also wanted a matte finish, and then I baked that for 5 minutes after the paint had dried. So now we are ready to apply our UV resin. So I'm going to just pick this up off of the paper, which is what I baked it on, and I'm going to bring over my silicone mat. There we go. And I'm just going to pop this over here. Okay, and I'm going to put this to the side because I need to mix up my alcohol ink with my UV resin. So I've just got a silicone mat here, and this is the UV resin that I am using. Okay, and I'm just going to apply a decent amount there because I need a fair amount. And I'm just going to be using this blue pinata ink. Okay, I'm going to apply 2 drops. Then I'm going to mix that up, like so. And you can see the colour there. Not sure if you can see it there. You can see the colour there. Nice, rich colour. Now I'll move this to the side, and the reason I'm mixing it up on silicone is because it's easily peelable. The resin, once it's cured, will easily peel off of that silicone mat. Then I'm going to take that and I'm going to brush that over the surface, and I'm mostly going to try to work it into the cracks, like so. Just because I want to make sure that I have those cracks highlighted. And I'm just going to show that process with just the one here. So, and everything I'm doing with this one will be repeated with the others. And I'm not going to paint the blue resin all the way up to the top. I'm going to leave kind of a ring. Then I'm going to grab some more resin and I'm just going to apply that in because I want to have almost like a gradient of sorts, so I want the blue to pool in the base, like so. Repeat with your others. Okay, then I'm just going to grab a wet wipe or any kind of rag will work and just run that along the outside of the piece before you cure that resin, just so that you maintain that white rim, like so. Then when I'm done, I'm going to apply this under the UV light for about 15 minutes just to make sure it's completely hard, and then we're going to go in with another coat, but this time it will be completely clear resin and we'll be coating the entire disc. Okay, and here it is. So you can see that some bubbles have formed, and that is quite normal when you mix a fair amount of alcohol ink into resin. So if you don't want that, then use a resin dye. That will solve the problem. But I kind of like the bubble. I think it looks quite nice. So now I'm just going to take my regular UV resin. I'm just going to pop a bit into each section. So, and all we're going to do now is we're going to cover it again. I just want you to take it all the way up the sides and over the edges slightly as well, so that you've got a completely clear coat over the whole surface. Then pop that into the UV light for another 15 minutes and then we can drill and assemble our piece. Okay, and here it is out of the UV light. So now we are going to apply our eye pins. I've done one on one side, and now I'm going to do on another side. Make sure you have one with quite a small stem, because you sometimes, just show an example, usually I use ones with a fairly long stem, as you can see over there, but that will end up piercing straight through the piece, so just get one that has a nice short end over there. Okay, then what we're going to do is I'm just going to find the spot that I want to drill it in, and this is kind of a delicate process, so bear with me. I'm going to find the spot, drill it in, and then I am going to drill down at an angle, and I'm going to keep going until I've pushed this the entire way through. Okay, then I'm going to put this to the side, and I'm going to bring over our cord, and I've just got these cord ends, and this is a rubber cord, and all I'm going to do is I'm just going to position that, close that around, and just make sure that that's properly squished onto the piece. Okay, and I have that on both sides. Then I'm going to grab some of these jump rings, and we only need 2 for the moment, and a toggle clasp, 2 of them. Okay, put the round pieces to the side for the moment. I'm going to grab these jump rings, open them up, and attach our first end of our clasp. Okay, and then I also applied clasps to the ends of our piece, like so. Then all that's left to do is to take that clasp and to fit it through, like so. And there you go, you've got your finished necklace. So that's basically it for today's tutorial. If you enjoyed it, please do let me know in the comments below. And yeah, this is basically a take on faux ceramic. I'm not sure if you've seen it before. If you look up cracked ceramic, it should show up, but yeah, this is my take on it. If you enjoyed it, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.